Hey guys, Tim from the Nano Blitz. Wanted to talk to you this morning. I was sitting having my coffee, started seeing it up all on Twitter. Madden ratings are here. The full ratings, not just the rookie ratings. Now, if you want to hear our opinions at the Nano Blitz on the rookie ratings, go listen to our last podcast. Nate and I talk extensively on how the rookies are rated, how some specific rookies are rated, our thoughts on that, as well as our thoughts on the process for rating, right? We talk a little bit about whether or not there's enough transparency, who's creating the ratings, and what their skill sets are, and whether or not they're qualified to even be doing that. And I think as we talk about that, I think that's what you and the community are talking about as well. Who's making these ratings? Who's coming up with these ratings? Why is Daniel Jones, the 6th overall pick in the draft, rated a 63 overall, while Tyree Jackson is a 67 overall and the third highest throw power in the game, despite going undrafted, right? And now you're seeing the full picture. You're saying, why is Andy Dalton rated higher than Matthew Stafford? Why is Andrew Luck rated higher than Aaron Rodgers? I think that's a fair question, right? And this is just the quarterbacks, right? We could go into all of our positions and break it down. Is this guy really better than this guy? Is this guy really that much faster than this guy? And that's the question that we get as a community when we see the ratings, and we start, our blood gets pumping in the Monday morning quarterback comes out in us, and the armchair scout comes out in us, and we're like, oh no, that guy's faster than that. No, that guy's stronger than that. And even the players do the same thing. Saw a great video of Chase Daniel and the Bears talking to some of the players about their ratings, and those guys talking about how disrespected they feel. It was a really fun video, and EA knows this. EA knows that we're not going to agree with them. In fact, if you go to the website, to EA's website, where they have the Madden ratings, in big bold letters above the button that you click to get to the ratings, it says, "Start the debate." What are they saying? They're saying that they know you're not going to be happy with it. But they're also saying with that they know that ratings are subjective. They know that ratings are dependent upon the eye of the beholder. What you see is not necessarily what they're going to see. And they know and they feel that is a valid and important part of our community, is the argument and the debate and the constructive criticism over who is actually better. Who should have the higher overall? Who should have the better hands? Who should be the best blocker? Who should be the best at breaking the blocks? All of those things, right? And I think the community agrees that these ratings are subjective. That's why we have all the questions that we have. That's why everybody calls, the league's rating guy biased towards the Cowboys, because nobody believes the Cowboys are rated as high as he rates them, right? So is that a problem? No, I think that's good. I think EA's got the right idea there. Like, these ratings are subjective. I think the real complaint that we should have as a community, and I think that underlines a lot of our complaints, is that we don't understand how the ratings are made. There was a great ESPN article that came out kind of showing some of that process, but it doesn't really deep dive into what's actually happening and how those ratings are created. But what we do know from that is that there's two guys, and their opinion is what matters. It's their biases, their experiences, it's their thoughts that are going into what that rating is. And it's a lot of their hard work too. Don't want to discredit that. Those guys work really hard, and I know there's some on-the-job training that goes on and a lot of cool stuff that goes on there, but neither of these guys are professional scouts. Neither of these guys have experience scouting NFL players at a professional level. None of these guys have experience scouting college players at a professional level. Now, one just graduated from college, and the other one was a valet who was a Q&A tester and got asked to do this after being a huge complainer about how Madden was doing equipment on different bulletin boards. And that's not me saying that. That's him saying that. That's what he said in his interviews, right? So this is who decides what these ratings are. So when we as a community look at it, we say, yeah, these are subjective, but how are you coming up with this? Why do you think these guys are qualified? Why are they the ones that are working on this? Why when we complain do we get blocked? Why when we complain do we get told, oh no, we're right? Why do we get those little emoticons of the guy with the monocle doing this, like, wow, you're so stupid, right? Those are the types of things that get the Madden community up in arms about how this is being done. So, with all of those things in mind, I think I want to point out 3 truths about the EA Madden ratings, right? So the first truth I just touched on is that there are 2 people who determine these ratings, and neither of them are professional scouts. Neither of them have experience being professional scouts. Neither of them have experience being collegiate scouts at that. So, how much do we take these ratings with a grain of salt? These are opinion-based ratings by guys who do not scout players for a living, or at least didn't before they worked at Madden. Okay, so that's the first point. Second point: the overall rating probably needs to be retired, right? Because we're complaining about the overall rating. Why is Aaron Rodgers rated lower than Andrew Luck? Which probably shouldn't be the case, right? But it's because of how their skills are weighted. I think the bigger question should be, shouldn't I be looking at which quarterback fits my system better? Shouldn't I be looking at the running back that fits my system better? Shouldn't my overall rating be weighted based off of what my scheme is? And I think that's a fair thing to ask for, and I think that's a thing that we should look at. And I think it's something that used to be in the game at one point. Regardless, the overall thing just doesn't fit anymore in today's day and age, right? And neither does the position schemes. We talk about the outside linebacker or defensive end, when they really should be edge rusher or linebacker, right? These are the types of things that we need to get into the game. But overall rating, probably not as important as it should be, or probably not weighted the way it should be. Okay, finally, the last truth. So the first truth about the ratings is that there's 2 guys that are probably unqualified to do it, making the ratings. Second truth, the overall probably isn't what you should be looking at when you're looking at the players on there. And the third thing is the ratings can be changed by you. So maybe you're like me and you say, these guys don't know what they're doing. These guys don't have the qualifications to rate these guys, and I could rate them much better. For the record, I probably couldn't rate them better. I'm not a great scout. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know what I see, and I don't like what I see. Right? So I can go in and I can change those ratings. I can go in and I can change those development traits. EA gave me the power to go in and say, you know what, I think I could do this better, so I'm going to do it better. And there's a lot of people out there in the community that create customized rosters. I think that franchise guy, go check him out. He does some great work. Go see what he's putting up, right? Go get a roster that you do believe in. Go edit a roster that you believe in. Because if you don't like it, fix it. EA gave you the ability to do that, and I think that is the greatest tool that they ever gave us, right? So go in and change it, right? So the 3 truths. It's 2 guys who are making these ratings, and we have no idea how they're making them. Second truth, the overall rating, you probably shouldn't put a lot of stock in that when you're playing the game. And the third thing is go in and change it. You don't like it, go change it. Now, if you like this, then like the video. If you don't like it, well, just leave. Don't hit the dislike button. Go ahead and subscribe, though, so you can see how much you like or dislike our opinions here. And go check out our podcast. You can get it here on YouTube. It's probably over on that left-hand side there of your screen. And go subscribe to us on iTunes Podcasts. We are the Nano Blitz. You can check us out at thenanoblitz.com. You can email us your opinions at detection@thenanoblitz.com. And you can follow us on Twitter at the Nano Blitz. We'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, Chad, play your game.